You guys ready? Everybody? We'll start the city council meeting for November the 14th, 2023. We'll start by reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. If you stand and remove your headgear, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call council members: Lee Scholen, Kim Helgeson, Mary Bailey. Here. Molly Ryan is absent. Mayor Henke is here. We also have City Administrator Mark Paulsing, City Attorney Joe Saki, and City Engineer Derek Olanger. How would we do? Good. And we also have Police Chief Jeff Schoblem and Officer Holmeyer, Public Works Eldon Eric, and Assistant Administrator Holly. Are there any citizens' comments? Ask again, anybody, any citizens' comments? If not, we will move on. And that will be to adopt the agenda. Is there anything that needs to be added or subtracted? Okay.
I will make a motion to adopt the agenda. Second that.
Okay, motion has been made and second to adopt the agenda as is. All of those in favor of it, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, ayes passed. Okay, the next one, we can do three of them at once here. Pardon me. Consent agenda, approval of minutes and appointments, and financial we can do all at one time unless there's a question on it.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda, approval of minutes and appointments.
Okay, I'll second that. Any question? If not, we'll vote on it. Those motion has been made and second to approve the consent agenda, approval of minutes and appointments, and the financial. All of those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, ayes pass. Okay. Presentations, public hearings, recognition, proclamations. And item A is a public hearing for proposed vacate a right of way adjacent to Husett Street. Do you take that on, or who does?
Yeah, I can do that. So this is just a hearing to it's a required hearing as part of a vacation of a right of way process according to the state law. So it's to gain public input, see if there's any comments on the proposed vacation of the right of way of Husett Street.
What is that?
Means that anytime a city vacates alley, street, right away, this is best classified as a right of way. There has to be a public hearing before a council makes a decision on that. So that's what this hearing is. It's part of the process involved with vacating that area that was west of Traxler's held.
Like, so people can walk into the nature area?
Well, the city will still have an easement through there. So it's being moved up to the west because where that actual alley kind of thing is,
Yeah,
wasn't
weird.
in the right
Like,
place.
yeah, right.
So basically it's more of a correction than anything else.
Okay.
There's also
We can still get back there.
yeah, there's also a sewer line main going through there that, you know, the city needs easement so that they can gain access to that. So
We'll just make it better.
What's gonna basically put it in place to give enough setback for Traxxers to build their new, their project, their two buildings and do their additions.
Okay,
So that was the whole purpose of this. So they're building, and
right,
their
yep,
addition on
they're
here right
building
now.
more stuff.
So initially, when that came forth, where the lot lines were located wouldn't work with setback requirements because it's right up next to the right of way.
Okay,
So looked at a couple of different options and basically where we've landed here right now is to vacate the old right of way,
Okay.
which basically included access and a public storm sewer that runs through the area. Vacating that, establishing a new
okay. And then,
to get back the rights that we had before.
and
It's
this
just kind
line
of
will
like,
that be on?
so it would all be on tracks for the
Oh,
land.
You're still on this
But
one.
it'd be, yeah, so we'd be,
Cool.
we'd be getting an easement.
Okay, just not through
So-
that same spot, because then you're walking through
No,
all your
it's just,
stuff,
it's
right?
being,
Moved.
slightly. Yeah,
Okay,
That's not,
good.
that's not that far.
But that'll also now help.
The road that was there is over the storm drain line.
Okay,
That road that was there is over the storm drain line. The platted area was south of the storm drain line. I wanted to move the platted area over the storm drain line where it is.
okay,
So the road is not actually gonna change.
okay,
It looks different today than it did a week ago, but it's not gonna change. But I want that road over that storm drain.
okay.
So we moved the platted area was 20 feet. 20 feet.
Oh, it's like 20.
All this motion for 20 feet.
Okay, okay, well, that's politics, okay, good.
And maybe before we go further, so we actually need a motion to open the public hearing. I'm sorry. You were maybe gonna mention that, then maybe we can have.
Okay. Okay, we will have a motion is made for it to have an open public hearing on the proposed vacation of a right of way of adjacent to Houston Street. And we have to have that as a motion, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I
We
will
need a
second.
second. Okay, in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye, ayes pass, okay. Now we can discuss, right? I do have a question on it though, and I think I know what it is gonna be. Now, Held is in there. And also Danny Benson has his property in the back.
Yep.
And they've always been using through Kenyon Ag in other words, Held bus has always gone through Kenyon Ag area. There's not literally a street in there, as I understand.
Right.
So they will have the right to take their vehicles out through this new, and now what's the width on this is gonna be? Because I'll tell you what, there's a lot of it that heavy equipment, farm ag, that goes through that area.
It was restoring what was there before. 20
What was
feet wide,
before
20 feet wide. It's just
20, okay, 20.
And this will be under legal, so this is just the hearing.
Yeah,
And then it'll
yeah.
be after. a
But
couple more
I'm
months.
asking public. Okay. Any more discussion on it? Anybody?
That street, I don't really want to name the street in there. It's not a street. I don't wanna have the city come back to me and say, well, it's a street, you gotta pave it, curb it, gutter it. I don't want that. I just want it the way it was. The city wasn't maintaining it before, and I don't wanna have to curb, gutter it and all that to you. I just want it as an access and the right of way for the easement for the storm drain, like it was. I want it back the way it was.
Well, that brings up another question. Whenever they have to use it, if that comes up, who is gonna take care of it, maintain it?
So, okay, here's the background with, we have gotten records of what was originally dedicated through there. Although it doesn't look like a traditional city street, it hasn't been maintained like a traditional city street, it was dedicated as a street. So what we're trying to reestablish with this new easement is whatever those old rights were, we want those same rights, just in a different. To address your concern, as far as right now, I know I can't promise for anything into the future, but as far as right now, there's no plans for making, other types of improvements to that area, but, again, what we're trying to do with this, is just restore those rights that were. I received it from your, survey, so I could dig it up from the email. He sent it over. I can't remember the date, but, I do recall seeing it. And the city attorney reviewed that as well.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it from the fact of that going forward, everybody knows exactly what I understand. You know, that's just been a road through there to an extent. And I can see your point, but I also am looking at it from the point of what happens if there's needs to be a road, because let's put it this way. Kenyon Ag is actually owned by somebody else now, which is Ag Partners, okay? Danny Benson has his particular part in the back, the big building in the back and the equipment back there. So my question is if for some reason Ag Partners says, hey, Held and Danny Benson, you cannot use my piece of property for your driveway, what happens then? So that's what I'm looking at, you know, from that point.
Actually, Hell doesn't have a gas on the Van side, that's an easement also. So Hell has access on this side only.
On which side are you speaking of? On the north side? Yeah,
Through this.
yes, 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 yes. That's correct. That,
In that, you get that, that's who's maintaining the road.
okay. So you're satisfied with that?
It has been, because they have to. I don't like potholes when I drive out of the road.
Yeah. Well, that's a good deal.
Like, you probably better than I do, but I'm like, well, I keep running people in and out of there all the time, but I don't like them potholes at that approach.
Yeah.
Drive out of it.
Yeah.
Take care of it.
Yeah, at least a good neighbor end of it. You're working together, and that's what, you know, what my concern is to get some kind of direction, and you just laid it out. So, okay. We can close it then.
I would ask, usually it's a good opportunity just to ask one more time if anybody in the public has any additional comments for the record, and then make a motion to close. If
Okay.
there are none.
Is there any more comments on the public hearing for the proposed vocation of right-of-way of Jason to Houston Street? If not, we can close the public hearing. We'll need a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Okay, most been made and second to close the public hearing. Those in favor say aye. Ayes pass. Okay. Got that out of the way. Then we go on to item B. Kenyon Senior Living Property Sale Update. Brett Reese, Rebound Partners. Are they, nobody here
Apparently
today?
Here, so I would just.
I'm surprised on
ask
that.
for that. Yeah, I thought.
Really, really. Because they were invited, I
I
know.
just talked to their guy a couple days ago, something like that.
So we can move on then. Okay. We'll go on with engineering. Which we have as item A, which is a 2023 street improvement project. And item number one is project update. And Derek, would you like to
Yes.
take over?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
So you all had an opportunity to drive through the project. Overwhelming majority of the work is done. They might just have a small amount of kind of punch list repairs left, but project went well. It wasn't major hiccups, anything like that. So in this next month here, we'll just make sure that they finish up with that punch list and we can move on, and we've got a handful of new streets under here. So I for the packet, I think you did swap out. didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, there's a revised pay application number 2, in the amount of $409,539.24. That does include a small amount of retainage that we hopefully be ready to pay out next month. Otherwise, we're just looking for approval on that.
Make that motion.
We'll second that then. Is there any more questions on the pay approved for request number 2 of BMI for $409,539.24? If not, we'll make a vote on it.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, and I, okay, we'll pay it. Okay, the other item now is, item B is Pearl Creek Sewer and Gates Avenue Utility Improvements, which is project update again, Derek.
So, over this past month, BCM has been pretty busy, out there. Majority of the, piping, for the actual force main itself that kind of snakes up through the city streets. And then the gravity sewer that's in Barrett's backyard is mostly installed. We've got maybe about 50 or 60% of the grading for the overall site done for the, for the lift station site. Aside from a little bit of cleanup that I'm expecting to see sometime this week, I believe that that's going to be the amount of work that they will do here this year. They are intending on packing up and basically leaving for the winter, and then they'll return next spring to finish up with the project. And one last piece that I did leave out, they did do some of the utility extension work over by Public Works off the Gates Avenue there as well. Any questions on that work progress?
On, at Langford, where the main is gonna drop into the other, to the city one?
Yep.
Is that gonna be done, completed with the manhole and everything put in this fall yet? Or will that probably take place next spring?
So they've got the first layer of blacktop in.
Yeah.
You've seen.
Yeah.
Originally, it was their plan to put both of them in, but he's a little bit worried that there's gonna be some settlement there, so he wants to wait.
Okay,
So he's gonna ramp, if he hasn't done it already,
no, it
he's
isn't
going to
done,
ramp
yeah,
the edges there, so it doesn't get caught with the plow.
yeah,
But he's planning on coming back.
yeah, because that was a concern. It's right, actually, the street itself and the curb to the north,
Yeah,
would plow it, tear it up pretty good.
yeah. I agree with his approach. The only thing that I kind of don't like about it is that leaving that blacktop low, it's gonna fill up with water.
Oh, well, it'll ice it over and it'll be nice and smooth, ice road truckers,
Yeah. So we'll just.
and I get to drive on it
Yeah.
right in front of mine.
If there's some type of problem there, then we'll have to call them back. I didn't see the majors. But that's a good question.
Is there a possibility of, let's say, putting class 5 or something, fill it over for the winter?
I think that.
I mean, I don't care myself, but I know what's gonna happen to equipment.
Yeah, the class prize is probably gonna end up making a bigger mess than.
Well, I agree with that too, but if it stays hard, hopefully.
Yeah.
Our gravel right way to that patch. We'll let that one settle for the winter. We'll just ramp down. Class 5, I'd fuck it out the first time. Be all along.
Okay,
I think he probably would do more. It's getting to be that time of the year where.
yeah, well,
They're shutting down. So.
there's gotta be, the manhole is still sitting there yet, off on,
Oh, is the casting still? sitting
yeah,
there?
that's still there. So that's why I figured they were,
They'll have to come back
cut
and
it
do that
out
last.
and do it all in. No, as far as I'm concerned, they can let it as is, just so that they figure out something there for,
They've got to do the
because
final.
a
layout.
plow is gonna, come through there, they're gonna
Yeah.
be a little bit rough on it. I don't mind driving over the bump, but,
No,
okay.
they told us that they're gonna ramp.
Okay,
So this one, just looking for approval of pay app number 2 for BCM.
I'll make a motion to approve the pay request for BCM for $209,069.04. Second that.
okay. Any discussion on it? If not, we'll vote on it. The motion been made and second to approve pay request number 2 for BCM construction. $259,069.04. All of those in favor of the motion, say aye, please.
Aye.
Ayes pass. Okay. Then we go on to item number C, MnDOT Local Road Improvement Program Grant Application. You want to take on that too, Derek?
Yep. So last month, might remember, give us approval to start putting together this application for this funding opportunity that's come up. So in these last couple of weeks, we put together a cost estimate, some figures, got a draft of the application together. Probably most importantly, we met with the school, talked with the superintendent, maintenance staff, bus service as well, just to see what do you guys think about the scope of this project? Is there anything that's important, not important to you? So we can get that stuff into the application. Really good conversation. If you know, whenever this project does move through, regardless of funding, they're going to be a very important partner in that project, as we all can see with the heavy impacts to their property. So it was, setting the whole funding thing aside, it was good to get that conversation started, because there will come a day when this project will be not far out. So just wanted to give you a quick update on that. In terms of action items here tonight, we have a resolution that's included in the packet. It's 2023-28.
Yeah.
This is just a resolution that's required with the actual application.
So you can go forward with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the city's message to the state that we've gotten formal approval to, you know, that you like the project and you want us to.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make that motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, then motion, we can do that for resolution 2023-28. Okay, that's the motion that we're on. Okay, those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes, opposed, ayes pass. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to insert in there? Okay. Then we'll go on to legal, which is premises for gambling permit for the Kenyon Firemen's Relief Association. And if you wish to take that on, Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the approval of it's the part of the process the state goes through to allow lawful gambling at an establishment within Kenyon. You have to, the people who are applying to operate a lawful gambling operation have to submit, or we submit to the state a resolution saying that the operation can exist on the premise within the city. And so that is what this is. If it's approved, it'll go back up to the state, and then the licensee will be able to operate at the identified location.
Okay. Is there any discussion on it?
Motion? Okay, I will make a motion to approve resolution 2023-5. I'll second that.
Okay, a motion has been made and second to approve resolution 2023-25. Those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Motion passes. Okay, item B.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, this is the resolution that will vacate the portion of the property that was just discussed in the public hearing. It is contingent upon the execution of, it won't be vacated and filed until the execution of the easement that's attached to this resolution by the property owners. and you are free to move forward with it if you
Okay.
so choose.
Any other questions on it?
Is this what we're talking about?
This is the one,
We're
yeah.
talking about-
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wanted, I just want to make it clear now that it's understood that the tractors want this and not called a street. So I don't know if that's something we have to add or not add, because I don't want it to come back.
So,
It's-
yeah, this was the, you know, the part of the discussion of what are we trying to get back? What we're trying to get back is exactly what was originally granted. So normally you call that a street. Am I describing it correctly?
That's correct.
So we can describe it differently, but, you know, talking with Scott on this here as well, what we're after is those rights.
Okay, I just want it known that that was stated, and I'm listening to them, that they don't want this called a street, so if sometime later it comes up,
Okay,
we
I
can
see what you're
say.
saying.
We'll name
yes,
it a
we had this
parkway. How's that
discussion
sound?
that They do not want to call the street, and I'm making sure that we all had the discussion, that they do not want to call the street. Am I correct on this, or am I?
I got one thing, when I was redoing the street signs many years ago, there used to be a street name to that road. And I stopped, talked to the post office, and I looked for our stuff like. And I have no idea how this street sign showed up, how this labeled, it's called Meadow Valley Trail or something. So, I'm not like, well, like, the health bus shed address, actually, Lisa Street address, so no addresses were associated with that street.
Okay.
name Or anything like that, so, instead of replacing the street, we opted to just leave it as.
I'm fine with it. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page and we've had
Yeah.
a discussion and.
There's, at that time, there was 3 streets in town that was kind of hit or miss, it was. In my place, but Mike's driveway, Mike's still stands in the house behind it. There's that one, the house, the driveway for Treverson's, it's kind of the same type of deal. Like this one, the street that we got the- back to the street.
It might be helpful just to clarify that this action is only about the sort of underlying legal rights of the area we're talking about. If you refer to it, if you refer to it in this document as a roadway, a street, public, describing it is the important part within this document. And by describing it, I mean the parts that dictate what access and rights are allowed within the new easement, which are the same rights that are allowed in the current easement. If it's called, if we're street signs calling it Meadowlark Lane, that's kind of a different process and different considerations. This is just about what rights the city has in the easement as it currently exists, and then just shifting it to be where everybody intends it to be. We can make, before this, as you said, before the exhibit is executed, everything can be confirmed that, I know there's not a kind of an outstanding question.
Is it about the title,
confirmation?
right?
Like, you don't want somebody to come in later and be like, this is a street, and then, yeah, like in 10 years or something, right? Is that kind of what the concern is? Like, in 10 years, someone comes in and says, this is Meadowlark Lane.
Well, and I'll just say and if there's an outstanding question, as I understand it, the documentation has been provided that currently the city has you call it a bundle of sticks that it could use as property rights, and then it's this exact same bundle of sticks that's just being shifted over to a new location.
So I'm
it's
not trying
not-
to slow up the process or anything, or I'm just wanting known that this is what
Yeah.
they said. I'm hearing them and I'm making sure we all understand that they, at some point, they want us to come back and say, well, it's your street, you have the curb and
Yeah,
gutter and everything else. I'm hearing them and I just want to make sure that we all understand.
There's no intent on on a project right now to make some type of, alleyway type of improvement or anything like that. What's important are the rights. And, you know, the access rights for, you know, someone traveling up on the surface, there's rights for utilities that are below the surface, and leaving it as a right of way is the most beneficial. Means of doing that, most advantageous means of doing that for the city. Anything less than that does have other secondary consequences that we're not really interested in exploring right now, unless you guys would like to start this over.
No,
again.
no, I'm not trying to slow up the process. I
yeah,
just want to make
yeah.
sure that we're all on the same
Yeah.
page.
And that's what we're saying. We just, from what we're reviewing, we don't believe anything's being taken away. You know, this is just moving things over what was there before, moving it to a new location, and, you know, the fact that it's called a street, I mean, that came from the original dedication, which I can provide you, the copy. Mhm.
Well, if it's called the street or right away,
We call it a street, then you can publicly drive on it. That's,
I mean, the important part is that
I don't see
there's
that.
properties that are back here that do not have access to Moosehead Street.
yeah,
There needs to be a public
Yeah.
access
yes,
all the time.
yes.
That's ultimately what.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, is that kind of what you're wondering?
well, it's like you're
Like-
not taking care of it, but it's not even mine to take care of. I pay taxes to the city, then the
Right.
city's supposed to take
Yeah,
care of it.
fair
And
enough. I
plow
mean,
it.
yeah.
Cal plows it, it's like, but he does stand it for us. Once they call him, and they're very good at that.
And I'm not trying to
Again-
bring this up, but am I making my point clear that I'm hearing you? And I
Well,
don't,
that's what I wanna know, is we gotta know.
Well, maybe I could offer that could be taken into consideration as a separate. I don't mean to make it seem like we're trying to make that go away or anything like that. They see what you're saying, but it is a separate issue. We're here talking about vacating an existing right of way and establishing the new.
Yeah, so like maybe, are you saying they need to come in and say something like, oh, okay, if this is either one or the other, like either you make it sound like, okay, cause I mean, I know, because I'm up here and I've been doing this, every person is like, it's just like that. It's been like, it really annoying, I know. But, so like what they're saying is, okay, so like, either way, whether you wanna make it a street and then we take care of it as the city, right? Fair enough. Or then I take this land and then I take care of it, but I allow an easement. So it's like, that's the question. And I'm kind of a little confused too, like, is this your land and then we have an easement? Or is it a street that we should be taking care of? Yeah, right? Is that the question? Yeah, right. Okay, so is it
We're vacating right away and establishing.
so it's
an
their
easement.
land?
and
They
I
own it.
get
That
that
we
we're
have
not
act-
changing
Mhm.
the scope, but I just really want to make sure because.
So it's your
Until then, I come
land,
back
so
and
they
go,
own it.
Mhm.
It's all,
we have
it's their land, not the
conversation.
city's.
Mhm.
And we just have any, okay, great.
Yeah,
So that's, okay, that's our.
I mean, it's public access and utilities.
Right, well, yeah, right.
That's what we need to pay for.
Okay. Okay, lawyer.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm gonna ask,
Right?
So, just the way that this is drafted transfers one-to-one the rights of the city. That's what was provided in the notice that went
Okay.
out, and then we had that's why we had to provide the notice and the public hearing, because it's the one-to-one transfer of the same city rights that exist now that would exist after this would be approved.
Okay.
The questions on, it's not that the property owner, it's not that the city is taking anything away or changing anything besides the location.
So was it their land before?
yes,
And it's their land now?
No,
it was not.
Public platted right.
It was a blank spot.
It
was a blank spot. Okay.
So it's not gonna be a public right. There'll just be an easement across. The land's gonna revert back.
So it wasn't, okay, that's what the concern is. I see.
And that's a question.
that's what you caught me.
So now we're gonna make a new blank spot. Yeah.
You're gonna swap it out.
It was not a blank spot. This is what I can show you the record. There's a council action, I can't remember which year it was, but it was provided to me that it was dedicated. Which is why we're vacating it. Otherwise, if it were just a blank spot, we couldn't vacate it because there's nothing vacant. There's no right.
So it is their land. Is it their land? Or is it
Okay,
their land?
so the deal is, I'll try to summarize this as best I can. I'm not a lawyer like you guys are, but this was a public right of way. It is currently as of tonight. Okay, once this vacation is passed, it will not be a public right of way anymore. It will not be a public street. It will not be a public alley. What's gonna take its place is an easement, which has a lot of the same descriptors as a right of way. But it's not going to be a public right of way anymore. That property is gonna go back to the abutting property owners. Mostly like you guys, and you're gonna own that, but the city has an easement, wants to keep an easement across there for access for those other properties. And then for the utility, our main concern is utility underneath the utility line. The way the easement form is written, and I talked to Scott Riggs about this today, it's confusing. Because it says street, alley, blah, blah, blah. But it's not, because those are platted, things that exist. Like the alley back here that are not owned by anyone, but basically the public, by the public. So this is gonna be vacated. It is gonna be owned by you guys, but the city is gonna maintain rights in order to access that underlying utilities, just like we do on your property up north of town. It's the same kind of deal, and we have to have it in case we need to access that. That utility, but also because you got other property owners that still need to use that driveway. And so it's confusing, but the right of way is gonna go away once this is passed.
And kids don't wanna go to the
I don't think we can as a city, I don't think we can do that. I think we have to follow this kind of procedure. This is what other cities, most other cities do, if not all. As far as, this is a very common easement language. Egress, that doesn't, an easement is, there's thousands of easements all over. From the language of the agreements, how they're constructed, at least for newer, it depends on it, obviously, once 100 years ago or 50 years ago, are gonna be worded differently, but this is a pretty common textbook, boilerplate kind of wording. Sure.
And yeah, and the use of it, calling it the street easement, is more of a descriptor.
And I'm sorry, guys, I'm not trying to stop the process. I just want to make sure that
You guys
We're
want us
all
to
one.
wait?
on the
I mean, do you
same
feel like you
page.
want
But
us
it's
to wait?
vacated, it's
Yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
vacated.
No,
I
I
mean,
get
it's your
that.
property. Are you feeling like you want us to wait? Do you wanna look into it more, or what do you think?
Well, you guys need that property for your setbacks, for your new nodes, the whole reason.
I was concerned wasn't the name of the street, well, it really wasn't the street before, but maybe it was. It'd been nice to see that paperwork a little sooner than, we haven't seen it, but we do need it.
Yeah, as soon as I was looking for it, before the meeting here. I received it from Dave. He sent it over to me, so I know he has it as well. So.
But now it's not a swap.
Well, it doesn't say we're gonna do that. There isn't enough right away there.
Yeah, and and there might be, the issue is there may be other scenarios where you want this type of easement, that we're not thinking of here right now, that the easement that you're requesting doesn't allow. in terms of, actions, like you said, if it's contingent, is this still something that we could, they could approve and, work out the details for some modification of that?
So long as the intent of what was posted for notice and what was subject to the hearing is the same, we can make necessary changes to the documents that will be filed. And that's not a specific, concrete answer, because I think there needs to be a discussion on what those exact words maybe are, but if these are the, as it's drafted, these are the things that represent the intent of what was posted and what it was part of the hearing, which is the statutory process.
Right, so that other part would have to be like another hearing.
You'd have to, I
Right,
believe you'd
okay.
have to restart the vacation process.
There's a lot of different ways to look at. I see what you guys, are concerned about. The other thing that's, the other potential side to this, I'll just lay out the numbers. You guys don't want a public street, with pavement and curb and gutter, that type of thing, along with the cost that typically comes. What if one of those property owners accesses their property from this, does one? If they want the same type of street access as any other property. Again, I'm not saying that anything would change, but those are the types of, conflicting things that.
Then we'd be in another
that,
meeting
that-
fighting about that. That's
So-
what you'd say, okay.
So I have a question. If the council passes this resolution, can the details of that easement be worked out or tweaked after the fact? Because they haven't signed the easement. If the council passes this, they still have to agree to the easement.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
can that be worked out? So he can get started on his project and meet everything as far as setbacks go.
so the vacation wouldn't be. I don't believe the vacation would be effective until the easement would then be signed,
Right, it wouldn't be finalized till it's recorded.
Yeah,
which
but then
means
it
has
does-
to be
yeah.
signed.
but then it doesn't, but it would speed up the potential
But then
process.
it doesn't have to come back through this
Yes,
body, it doesn't have to have another public hearing.
that's right.
That's my
Yeah, as
concern.
long as the intent is the same, we can make sort of minor adjustments to it. And I think that
Okay,
as I'm hearing it, there just needs to be the sort of confirmation that nothing's being given up.
okay.
Is that,
Right, so
Okay, so if this easement just said easement and it was worded the same, would you be comfortable with it or not? I mean, if it didn't, if you took out street and it just said right, would you guys be okay with the format of the easement? Because that's what we're not gonna be able to try to change. The title, I don't know if that can be changed or not, but. Because what's confusing is it says street right away. Says vacation of street right away, okay, that's fine, but then you get down to the easement, it says form of street and right away easement, so if it just said right away easement, or just said easement of some type, or are you concerned with the material conditions of the easement and the access that the city has and stuff like that, are you? Okay, and I don't know what, he's not very excited about changing, but I understand it where it's confusing, where it says street, I get that, part of it. But as long as we can keep the terms of the easement the way that they're laid out. But if there's big concerns with that, or you guys don't agree with it, that's a bigger issue then. Well, it doesn't really say it's a street, but it just refers to a street, and I get where that's confusing. It doesn't say we're making a street.
What does it currently say?
Yeah, we can talk to him about that, I guess. I don't know if that can be changed. or not.
So so you're saying like, we could vacate this street right now and you guys could come back and kind of change some of the wording of the easement.
Yeah.
And then
make-
they don't need to sign once you guys sign the easement, then all this will go through, but you want that easement reworded. Can you do that?
You can reword it, but you can't change the intent. So if it's,
Right.
if when we look at, if the document is, you provided the document that was provided by your surveyor, and it says roadway easement, that is dedicated along your property, and then this says street easement, it's
It's the same
It's
thing.
the same thing, just a different vehicle. It would be, it's the same rights. We're just putting it in a different
Street
form,
to me
right?
means blacktop and curb and gutter, and roadway means gravel road. Yeah,
Maybe it could
right,
be changed to
to me,
roadway.
that's what to me, it's like a street. There are some gravel streets in town, but most of our have curb and gutter and blacktop.
Yeah.
And then when you say street, that's what I think of.
Yeah, there's enough here to do that too, but, I guess what I would tell the council is go ahead and I would recommend you kind of fix and we'll try to work out these. They're not gonna sign this
Sign that.
until it's figured out anyway, but
Okay,
I don't think you wanna go back through all this again and delay this longer from our end. I think we wanna keep moving with it. You know, and get it so that all we have to do then is work out the details of the language and record it instead of having to come back here. We don't want that. You don't want that.
I'll make a motion to, vacate the roadway. slash street. Resolution 2023-24.
I'll second that one then. Is there any more discussion on it? I hope not, but if there is. If not, let's vote on it then. There has been a motion made and second for resolution 2023-24 vacating a street. All of those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Ayes, opposed, it passes. I believe that's it.
That was four, sorry, there was four, right?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Got that out of the way. Old business. Going with that, community entrance sign. Mark, I believe you're gonna take that on.
Okay, so, this is a continuation of the discussion on the community entrance sign. We still have two quotes. Precision signs. I talked to their guy, left me a message yesterday, the rep, that they would still honor that price. Chad Tracy, I haven't gotten a confirmation on that one. He was still gonna follow back up with his design guy and get back to me, and he never has. Or I mean, at least before this meeting. So basically, we've talked about this quite a bit. And I did put all those questions. I don't know if you want to go through those. There was some questions raised at the last meeting, and Cora got those questions. We put those in the packet in your information. There it is. Okay, so, as far as, I'll skip to like number 2, both companies said they can provide a changeable sign plate for whatever we would want. We use Rose Fest as an example. And the K and the Kenyon be changed to red, it can. The useful life of the sign, both signs carry a 25-year guarantee, but both of the reps told me that they should last much longer than that. We talked about that there might have to be a higher base. Both of them, understand that. They're wondering how the material's bonded. That question came up They use a thin set type of product, again with a basically a 25-year warranty. They talked about a lit sign, and there's a bunch of difficulties with getting electric over there. And what we talked about, I think before, what I would tell you is we should look at that later as a solar kind of deal, and maybe Kenyon can help with some of that as a project or whatever. We can approach them about that, but I think it's gonna really need to be a solar thing. I think it's gonna be difficult to run electric over to that.
Might as well go green.
The base and frame would be made of wood studs and plywood, exterior grade materials. And the cost we got for these interchangeable panels would be anywhere from between the two companies, 150 and 500. 100 and 500, depending on the type of materials that are used. The precision sign would have a concrete base, concrete footing. So other than that, I think they were pretty much the same. So I don't know if there's any questions. Where we need to get now is we need to have a preferred quote, so we can go ahead, let MinDOT know who we're gonna use specifically. So we
Okay, my
get that
only
permission.
my only question
Go
is that one place, that number 8, base is made of wood studs and plywood. And the other two are made of concrete.
Correct.
I think that's a big deal,
Okay.
right?
What's the cost of the interchangeable signs too, the going with concrete is only $100.
What rots away,
$250 to $500.
unless, I mean, they're putting obviously, they're putting, you gotta put those in concrete, don't you?
I would think so, but I don't know.
That's- I mean, I'm not a part.
Yeah. Right, and the one had Precision had a pretty deep concrete footing.
Yeah, I mean, they both are good, but I don't know, that just worries me, just,
Sure.
what are you doing? Sticking the wood, I mean, they gotta go better, I don't know, why don't they say that they're gonna put concrete around it? That makes me nervous. Right?
Well, you know, pole buildings and that are all wood down in, but they are concreted around, but
Right,
they're
and then they have
treated,
Yeah, they have a footing.
yeah, treated. Well, there has to be a base, a footing, as you say.
Say that. Like me that don't know, I mean, it's like, they just expect you to know that, right?
Yeah,
Eric?
there are differences in the type of construction between these two signs, and that's probably what the price.
Okay,
So
let's
I
just
think-
be honest.
I think that you're onto
I'm
something.
saying
I
it.
can't, I wouldn't be able to say with certainty that the one that's proposing the wood construction this is going to be a junk sign. There are plenty of, those types of signs that are out there that stand for
Right.
a long period of time. But, back to your original concern, that they're two different materials, one's gonna last longer than the other. I think you're probably right. And that's probably what the difference in the price.
Right. Okay,
So it's a valid point.
okay, and so we're talking,
You said Precision, they said they'll stand behind that price yet, but Shad Tracy, you haven't heard.
I haven't gotten an answer back
So
yet.
that might be more.
yeah, and then with panels too, I mean, now you're just talking about like what here?
Depends how many
Okay.
they're gonna get.
Like
Talking
what,
double.
$2,500?
Double the price.
Oh, is it
for-
double?
For interchangeable, depends.
Oh, but I mean,
How
for
many
the
you
whole
get,
price,
but-
it's like $3,000, I mean, I don't know, I mean, some-
Pay ones and cry ones.
yeah, right? Those, I don't know, I say, I don't know, I grew up with it. You'd be like, that's crap, whatever, I don't know, I'm not a carpenter, but I don't know, I mean, you're talking not even $3,000 difference here. I think,
All right. So I'll make a motion that we look at Precision signs
I'll second
at
that one.
the current rate of $19,355.
That is Craig Precision Signs, isn't
Yeah.
it?
This is Precision signs, yeah.
Okay, just a minute. Any more discussion on it then? Lee, if I'm correct, or if I'm wrong, correct me. So the motion has been made and second to look into continue on with precision
Correct.
signs.
Yeah.
Okay,
At the current price of $19,355.
okay. Those in favor of the motion? Say aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye. Opposed? Nobody. Okay, thank you. We'll go on with it. Mark, update or whoever's got that?
Yeah, so we just wanted to kind of give an update on the Depot Park shelter. We're so kind of proud of how that went. But as everybody knows, the painting was a great success. So we're very excited about that. The design group is going to be coming here on the 5th of December to kind of give us their, based on the public input they got at trunk or treat. They're going to be talking about the three options and which ones seem to be the most popular on December 5th. And so that'll, I guess, sort of wrap up their project. I guess they talked about maybe helping us find funding. And then the other thing is, Kim, I don't know if you want to talk about the
sure.
great work you did with the.
Yep, I reached out to a local cabinet shop and asked if there was any possibility of any donation for redoing the cabinetry, and they have said yes, they're working on it now. Cabinets and countertops for the whole kitchen area, and they're hoping to have it wrapped up by the end of the year, so. Wayne picked up a sink and a faucet yesterday, so we're ready for that, so when spring comes, we'll be all ready to have a nice location for people to rent, so.
Thank you, Kim.
Yep.
Looks good. Moving along. Okay. Anything else under
Nope.
that? Okay. Then we can move on to new business. Item A. 2024 proposal agreement for continuation of our city, county joint powers, agreement for state building code administration.
So this is just our annual agreement with Goodhue County for them to conduct building code administration, building inspections. There's really no material change to this. Scott looked it over also and didn't really have any concerns with it. It's the same form they've used for a long time, so I would recommend approving it.
Yeah, we always have. So I'll make that motion to approve 2024 proposal agreement.
I'll second that.
Okay, any more discussion on it? If not, there has been a motion made, second for 2024 proposal agreement for continuation of our city county joint powers agreement for state building code administration. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes pass. Okay, item B is resolution 2023-26 designating annual polling place resolution. And that's always been the same.
So in previous years, cities have been required, maybe counties, to annually pass a resolution designated a polling place. And that requirement now is ended, but we want to do, the county wanted us to do one more designation for 24. So this is really just kind of a boilerplate kind of thing, but it just will designate where the 24 elections will be held. And this would designate them again at the fire department.
I'll make a motion to
Yeah.
adopt the resolution 2023-26. Second.
Yeah, and that's at 620 Centennial Drive, is that correct? Okay. Okay, motion has been made, second, for resolution 2023-26, designating annual polling place resolution. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Item C is resolution 2023-27, adopting assessment of delinquent utility bills.
This is just the annual resolution that would put any unpaid assessment, any unpaid utility bills on, be assessed against properties. So anyway, there's a list of Exhibit A. This is the amounts and the property PID numbers. So I don't know if there's any questions on that.
That's basically the same.
Yeah, they're always certified to people's taxes, the property taxes, and they don't pay the utility bills,
Oh, right.
so.
I'll make the
Mickey.
motion, we adopt the resolution for the delinquent utility bills.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion has been made, second for resolution 2023-27. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, ayes pass. Okay, item D is Kenyon Fire Relief Association request for November the 25th to 23. Item number 1 is a temporary liquor permit. Can we put both of those together or do them?
I would do them separately.
Yeah, you have to do them.
Okay.
separate.
Item number 1 is temporary.
Your call.
Separately, yes.
Separate, yeah, I heard you say that, but is there any discussion on they? Otherwise, we can go with a temporary liquor permit for November the 25th to 23.
I'll make a motion for the permit, the Fire League Association on November.
I'll second it.
Okay, any more discussion? If not, the motion has been made second for a temporary liquor permit for November the 25th, 23. All of those in favor of the motion say aye. Ayes. Okay, it passes. Okay, the next one on is dance permit, and that will also be for November the 25th to 23. So,
Make a motion to approve the dance permit.
I'll second it.
okay. Motion has been made and second then for the dance permit on November the 25th of 2023. All of those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Ayes pass. Okay. Item E then is set special meeting to review the draft for 2024 enterprise budget, fund budget. Which is sanitary, storm and liquor. We need to set a date.
So, we started this last year where we had one work session for the levy funds, and then we had a second work session for the enterprise funds, which are sanitary sewer, storm sewer, liquor. So I would like to try to put that up toward the end of this month. It shouldn't be more than about an hour, if even that. I mean, most of it is gonna be, it's probably a little more to the liquor as far as going through the budget, but as far as the liquor fund, there's probably a little more to review there, but usually it's not a very long meeting, and Milty and Wayne will just kind of walk through their proposed budget for next year, so. No, there's Thanksgiving the week of the 20th. I don't know if you want to talk about the week of the 27th.
Well, first of all, we gotta look at time wise, I think should be looked. Lee, you,
After school would be best for me, but after school would be best, but if we end up doing it earlier, I'll just take off early.
Well, we should be able to do it at like, 5 o'clock or something.
5, okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Gonna say, okay, we got that down 5. We'll work at 5 PM, then we need a date.
How about the 28th?
That's a Tuesday. 28. Does that work? I don't have dig my phone out.
email Monday or?
Because I do my emails all day.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Does that work for the rest of you?
If we have to change it. I mean,
Do we need to run that through as a motion or just an agreement?
You don't have to do a motion, no.
Okay. Well, let's put it this way is Monday, or no, it's Tuesday, isn't it? I got Monday here. Okay, Tuesday, the 28th of November at 5 PM here at City Hall. Does that work for everybody?
Yep.
Work for you? Milty, I know probably will, might be a few minutes late, but okay. We'll do it. That's the date that we got then. Okay, item F is replacement fryer at the Muni. I know that's been out for quite some time. It is a good money maker. And believe it or not, it's pretty good food. So, Milty, you want to bring it up a little bit more on it?
Several months ago, I don't know exactly when it went out, some of you guys might know.
Summer.
Yeah, several months ago,
Yeah.
the fryer went out. But he needs to get a different one. He's been looking for either like a refurbished one or one that, you know, like pre-owned. I think the last one he got was like, it come from another location, wherever, and he got a good deal on it. It was really good shape, but he hasn't had any luck with that. So the new ones are gonna probably be in the range of 14,000, give or take. They're similar to what's in the packet there. But yeah, I think it's something that we need to, if we're gonna run that place, we need to do it right, and we need a fryer, so.
Yeah, and you don't want someone's bratty fryer out of their nasty pull bar. I'm fine
No,
with it.
I mean, if
Yeah.
it was
I
a
mean, it's
used one, it would
yeah.
be, it would
Yeah.
have to be fairly new.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then.
They're hard to
really,
come by, but
it's
anyway,
like,
yeah.
oh.
so. He's still looking at restaurant supply at some other options, but I mean, they're basically gonna be like this model right here. so.
Yeah.
But we're just trying to get authorization to purchase it so that we can find something, we can move on it.
I will make a motion to replace the fryer with a new clean one. For the meeting.
I'll second that one. I know they need it. I do have a question on it though. Wayne, you probably can answer that. From the electrical end of it, this one here that they're looking at is like 208, 240 volts. Is there something close at hand there? I have never been behind the bar, so. There is? Okay. I mean, I'm just curious anyway, how much, wiring gonna have to be done if went with it, so. Okay, there has been any more discussion on this, first of all? If not, there has been a motion made, second, to replace the fryer at the Muni. All of those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes pass. Okay. I guess that's it for that. Other meetings, schedule of upcoming meetings will be KMU meeting will be Tuesday, November the 24th at 4 PM. That's a little bit different. I always thought it was 2. Township Fire contract meeting is Tuesday, December 6th at 6 PM. 2023 budget and levy public meeting is Tuesday, December the 5th at 6:30 PM. And then our city council meeting will be Tuesday, December the 12th at 7 PM. Okay, I don't think there's anything else to add to it that I know of.
Yeah, it'll be part of that meeting. Yep.
Okay, council and staff general comments.
So Jeff wants to introduce the new part-time officer.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that, Jeff. I figured you'd do that in the beginning.
No, that's, couple things before I do this. Well, I worked with Misty many years ago. I reached out to the talking guys, we're coming up with situations where working a part-time that have to work on things that with those types of things, and we talked to everybody. Since that time. Although we had another part-time, we got to be upset, we okay with this, and all kinds of things. So we need to have another person. So I talked to the guys, like, hey, you know of anybody that's interested, let me know, and, actually, this is. So, that's the great thing about who we have right now for part-timers, is that they want to. And so she approached me and asked me if they got. It's pending right now, pending background. And
England, and I'm terrible at speaking, so, if you have any questions, please reach out, ask me anything. But yep, I reached out to Jeff. I've worked with him in the past, when he was county or with me, as well. And so part-time, I lived with one for 25 years, so anyone is my husband. And then like Roberts, I had heard that that was looking for a part-timer, and you know, I missed in the saddle, I was in county for 10 years, close to 10 years, and due to circumstances at home, my two children are adults. We are now at custody and raising our same grandson, 7, and so of course, family first, careers. And so I kind of put my stuff aside, so I can raise my grandbabies and you know, my grandbabies, and love them to death, but until circumstances in my world changes, I'm able to have person. So I reached out, I was like, I would love to work with you guys again, and get that done, and I love to be Kenyon, and familiar with Kenyon. I work with these guys, I trust these guys, they're great me, and so then the more I think about it, and what's next to me, I not do this, so where do you reside? I'm in Zimbabwe. Yeah. Okay.
Welcome, Miss.
Yeah, well, welcome. And you know, one of the other ladies that was over at Zambroda, she was here at Kenyon, what was her name? Shannon, yeah. I should remember the last time she turned the red light on me, so. In the park,
I want the dirt, I call Shannon. Noted.
she just wanted to talk.
I love. Yeah. Not Rodney Roberts, I can't stay up here any longer, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you.
Do you wanna talk, we have new piece of equipment on our vest, so that we finally roll that out today. Also, we got all of our systems, our in-house computers, that's why I'm kids, we do conference all day today, but, we got one more spot to get. Uploaded it. One camera system didn't quite work out, so I got.
Are you recording this right now?
Nope, the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, so, there's a learning curve, and we're all getting used to it, we actually use it on one. And then we great to it.
Good. Thank you, Chief.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Well, then we will still start out with Mark, you wish to
No,
come in?
I don't have anything.
Okay. How about you, Derek?
Nothing from me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pass too. How about you, Mary?
Derek, the streets look good. Thanks for patching the street on Fifth Street behind the school.
That's, thank Wayne for that one.
Wayne,
That's cool.
nice, that's you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's a death trap. Anyway, the streets look good, and thank you.
I just wanna wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and everybody keep December 9th on your calendars. You have a good, Christmas in Kenyon, we've got a day full of lots of good stuff, so.
Want to thank all the department heads again, and Holly and Mark for all the work that they do. I want to notice the passing of Deb Sveen. She was one of our city employees for a long time at our liquor store, passed away this week, so we wish her friends the best for that, so thank you very much.
Okay. Guess we got through that. How about an adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that one. All of those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Ayes pass, okay. Hey, Mary, before I forget, have you ordered those wreaths?
They're coming.
Okay, you
Yep.
know,
And I talked to, Paul today,
oh,
so we
okay,
got it all hashed out, so it's all good, everything's ready to go.
Okay.
All very good,
thank you.
yeah. He got me the price and everything, and he goes, it's a miracle I found this.
Yeah.
I said, okay, but I'm gonna put it in my computer this year, so I don't know why I didn't. I've been better at all that, putting everything in my.
You got the other four for,
Yep.